Ho ho ho! Hello, children! In this corner, we've got a juicy flame broiled slab of beautiful succulent beef with all your favorite ingredients on lettuce, on mayo, on pickles, on ketchup, on onion, on tomato, on a sesame seed bun. It's on top of Santa's nice list. It's the Whopper.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh, fuck yeah!
get to the Whopper.
Sesame seed.
Watch the language, children.
Whopper.
And in this corner, it's the plant based burger that's posing as delicious beef. It's an abomination of science. After all, children, what are we really but carnivorous mammals at the top of the food chain? Why can't we devour and tear flesh? Am I right, children? When you really think about it? Oh, ho, 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 anyway, it's red meat imposter. It's the Impossible Burger.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck yeah!
get to the Impossible Whopper.
Beef versus plant. Burger versus burger. Merry Christmas to all, and to all of you tried that. Merry Christmas from You Tried Dat. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock,
Ho ho ho!
Nick Geiger.
Auld Lang Syne.
So,
That was quite a judgy Santa we were.
well,
Very philosophical Santa. He's gotten very mute,
Really.
very in his own thoughts as the time goes on.
I feel like that Santa posts a lot on Reddit. That's the kind of Santa we just had. He's very opinionated.
Make North Pole great again.
Santa's from a bygone era. I don't know how well he fits into to today's society. So,
I wonder how the reindeer are handling that latest screed. Where they're like, top of the food chain, huh? He's just staring at them.
so you guys were eating the Impossible Burger today. Have you guys had either the any version of an Impossible Burger anywhere, or even just a veggie burger of any kind before?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had like veggie patties before. In the past, that I've found them very disgusting. I've had the Impossible patty itself twice, two occasions now. The first time I ever had it was at the San Francisco Zoo. They have an Impossible Burger in their cafeteria, and I was like,
That was
okay,
definitely rhino meat.
yeah, I was like, all right, I'll try this. Like I've wanted to try it for a while, and it was very bad, but it was not any worse than I would have expected the actual regular burger from the San Francisco Zoo cafeteria to be. You know what I mean? Like it just tasted like a cafeteria burger tastes, which is bad. Um, then the other time I had it was at there's a fancy burger restaurant out here in Northern California called The Counter, which I love that place. And you can get, like, it's one of those places where they give you like a card and you check off all the different options you want. You can get all these crazy things on your burger, like fried eggs or cranberries or like, also like fried onion strings, like any combination you can imagine. And they have an Impossible Burger now. And that was legit really good. And I don't know if that's just because like I also got bacon and barbecue sauce and onion rings on top of it, but it was a really, really good burger.
I have not. All of my burgers have been extremely possible. Um, I've not even tried veggie burgers. I want to say, maybe long time ago. I can't remember ever even having a veggie burger, because I've always had the option to eat a fucking hamburger. So why wouldn't I? Shots fired. Veggie burger.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
veggie patties are particularly bad.
We have a friend whose
They
wife
don't taste
is,
good.
well, she's also a friend, is vegetarian, and we've had cookouts, and she'll bring like a veggie patty, and like I'll be making it on the grill, and I don't even know when it's done. It's not changing color. It's like
Right.
sticking to the grill. I'm like, I think this is complete. I have no idea. Like, it's the same color as other than a few grill marks. I'm like, sure, and just hand it to her, but I would never try it.
Yeah, I've had a bite here and there, but I'll be honest, I haven't given, non-beef burgers a very good chance. I'm not vegetarian, obviously, so I will just order regular burgers and often shy away from the veggie burgers. Haven't enjoyed the very limited exposure I've had, but I do agree I haven't given them a fair chance, and I think I'm ready to do that today with the Impossible Burger. So we'll see how it goes. Recently, now I want to see do you guys have this radio personality? I don't know if she's nationwide or not. Her name is Delilah. She like is on the radio, and I think she's like a Casey Kasem type of plays nationally thing. And what she is, people will call in with kind of sob stories or things that are happening in their life. Sometimes they're good, like, hey, I just got a promotion, I need a song to celebrate, and she'll play Walking on Sunshine or something like that. Or sometimes, and a lot of times they're sad sob stories. Do you guys know this lady?
Nope.
Yeah, I have not heard her since I moved to Illinois, although I don't listen to the radio as much. I used to hear her all the time, like I want to say she was on like late at night in Milwaukee when I was living there. And she has like this real calming, soothing, like almost like therapist voice, right?
Yes, right. So
Okay.
she still has her same shtick that goes through the holidays, but the station that she's on plays solely Christmas music the whole time through. So my wife and I were listening recently, and Laura, who was on the show recently, pointed out a couple of good ones where a guy called in and said that his wife was pregnant by another man, and she needed, like, she just was upset by this, or the guy was upset by it, and so she said, "Here's a song for you," and played "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
That cured it.
Problem solved.
So she's limited to Christmas songs now, no matter what these people's problems are. The other one was that a dad called in wanting the perfect song for his daughter's wedding. And she played Holly Jolly Christmas.
Oh, my father recently died, and just don't know what to do with the wake. I'll just play this, and it looks like Good King Wenceslas on. I guess that's awesome.
Yeah, I just found out my husband cheated on me. Joy to the world.
I mean, is there any? I'm trying to think of a scenario you call in there where there would be an appropriate song. I mean, none of them really fit. They're all very Christmas themed.
Right. I'm going to a Christmas party. Can you give me a song for that?
I'm wrapping Christmas presents. Do you have anything for me? She plays Candle in the Wind.
It's snowing. I want it to continue to snow. What should you have a song for that?
And she plays Jingle Bells for some reason. Like, it was totally on a tee for her. She fucked it up. Or somebody calls and they're like, yeah, we're lighting the first candle on the menorah. And then she just busts out with like Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, or some other Christmas song. No, I'm Jewish.
I'm looking to take a stroll through a wintertime environment. Do you have anything?
Built a snowman in my backyard. I kid you not. He just came to life. Now, is there a song I could play that would be fitting for this?
Hey, Delilah. Yeah, I called in last week. I told you about that snowman. Well, it turned out he got my wife pregnant. Do you have a song for him? Not really, but Frosty the Snowman.
And he's married my daughter, so I'm gonna need two songs.
Wait a minute, he's been pregnant to my wife and he's marrying my daughter?
Fucking your life up.
Man, get out the hairdryer and kill that guy.
Some like 10-year-old kid calls in and like, hey Delilah, I just went into the into my parents' bedroom and I saw this floppy pair of balls like slapping against my mom. It's like, I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Yes, you saw Santa's distinctive floppy set of balls. Also, they could have played Silver Bells.
Why did the screener not catch that call before they sent it to the All right, Delilah, we're gonna come back, and I got a good one for you. In 5, 4.
It's about a 10-year-old talking about his dad's floppy balls.
Delilah does that. Now, Chad from California is calling. He says he has some news about Santa's testicles. Chad?
All right. Well, let's have some early Christmas gifts for ourselves here in the form of Whopper. Now, Chad, are we going to normally we use a 5-point scale? We don't for these mini episodes.
Yeah.
Chad, what scale do we have here today?
So we're just going to do a little modified 3-point scale here. Now, I will say I'm a little biased because I stopped eating fast food for the most part, like maybe 15 years ago. So it's probably been 20 years since I had BK, but my recollection from when I used to eat fast food was that BK was, of sort of like the major chains, the worst, right? Like in general, their fries are awful. Their burgers just aren't as good as, say, McDonald's or Wendy's. So our scale is going to reflect that. The ranking of the top fast food chains is what we're going to use for our scale. So starting at the top, Wendy's, middle, McDonald's, bottom, Burger King.
So
if
I'm going to rate a Whopper with a score of McDonald's.
or Wendy's or Burger King.
All right.
Now, this is different than a lot of our episodes because there's no quality control here. To where if we get a bag of Lay's or a meat stick, then presumably there's some quality assurance that we're all getting something very similar. Now, as we all know, we've been into many different fast food restaurants in our life. The quality is not the same from one to the next, no matter
Definitely
if they're
not.
the same chain or not. So we may get different experiences here, but we're going to give you our best possible rating. Now, I think we need to start with the classic Whopper.
When was the last time you guys had a Whopper? I probably have never had one because when I would go into Burger King, I would just get like a plain double cheeseburger or something.
I used to get them. I used to like them as a kid, but it's probably been 5 years, at least 5-6 years. I might have had one like after softball or something. I typically remember liking the Whopper more than the Big Mac, if that means anything.
Actually, I was talking about that with someone else today. I much prefer the Big Mac usually.
What about it?
Did you get it with cheese or no cheese?
I got with cheese because I like burgers should have cheese. I think it's a abomination to eat a burger without cheese. But I also got it completely plain except for the cheese because I don't like all the toppings and stuff like lettuce, tomato, etc. So I'm not really eating a Whopper. I'm just eating a cheeseburger that has the Whopper patty. I'm not sure what is it that makes it a Whopper. Is it just the size of it or the sauce or what?
Nothing.
So what they call it. It's just a brand name. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about the Big Mac is the Big Mac sauce is different, and it's
just
very
Thousand
good.
Island dressing, right?
More or less, something like that.
And it's got an extra piece of bread in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's got a bun in the middle, 3 buns. It's definitely a big burger. It tastes like a pretty standard fast food burger. I'm obviously not questioning whether it's beef. It's the same taste I've grown used to my whole life.
Novak, what did you get on yours besides cheese? Just everything?
I got it as is because I just wanted to keep it easy. I didn't say cheese. I thought that I normally would get cheese in a burger, but I thought when I said no, I thought, well, the cheese will not get in the way of me trying to distinguish beef from non-beef. So we're all trying it a little bit different. Did you guys get any fixings, fast food fixings along with your burgers?
No, I got the 2 burgers. I got mine without cheese because I'm lactose intolerant, as we've talked about, and I took tomatoes off because I don't like tomatoes. Everything else is the same. Since I have 2 burgers here, I did not get any side items. When I go to Burger King, I usually get the onion rings instead of the fries, which are also not great, but they're better than I think their fries kind of suck. So I just remember them being soft and not that salty. So the onion rings are okay, but they're not that great.
Their fries are an abomination. I ordered their fries because I haven't had dinner yet. We're recording kind of late, and I was starving. So even though I got 2 burgers, I got a small fry. I douched them in salt because I ate one, and I'm like, these things are so lacking in salt, and they're still even with that, they're still like barely edible, but I'm still eating them because I'm so hungry. So
Let's say keep a piece of beef separate. Just pull a piece of beef out from it so that we can taste the beef plain, so we can make a real determination. Before, I don't know how close you are. I think Geiger's probably the most likely to just be finishing the first Whopper.
About half. I haven't eaten dinner.
I was with you when we ate pizza.
We did eat pizza like 3 hours ago.
That was first dinner.
You know, I'm actually surprised it's taking this long for you to just flat out tell us to pull our beef on this podcast.
Pull our beef? What's pull our beef?
It's clearly a masturbation joke, but what you asked Delilah about?
My friend just told me to pull my beef. What song do you have for that? Deck the halls with bells of
Pull your beef with balls of holly.
Geiger, you've reheated these, right?
Yeah. So my wife was going out to dinner with her friend, and one of our cars is in the shop right now. So we only have one car. So I couldn't. I had to get these before she left, which was at like 6:30. So I just nuked them. So they're a little lukewarm, which is going to hurt their rating, but it's not their fault. It still tastes probably about the same.
Would you say, baby, they're cold inside?
But I would. That song is about Whoppers that have been sitting out, right?
So I dug into the Impossible already.
Okay, I haven't yet. I'm gonna open it up now.
It is noticeably different.
We should also pull our beef on that one, right?
Pull our plant-based soy protein.
It smells different.
Oh, right.
Just the very opening of it.
Yep. It looks different, too, to me. It's a little more uniform, like it's like a lot, like perfectly round, probably because they're prepackaged.
It looks a little too much like a burger should look for a Burger King burger.
It doesn't look like a bear sat on this one.
It doesn't look like a bear shat on this one.
Oh, it smells.
Yeah.
It does not smell good.
So I will say, when I came home with the bag, I put it in the microwave to hide it from my animals in my house. Also, to try to retain some heat. But then when I went to go reheat them, I opened the microwave and it stunk in there. Like, it just didn't smell good. And a bunch of I think it was just grease like poured out of the bag into my hand when I went to go get them out. So that was a bad first impression. But this definitely tastes different. I'm not saying it doesn't taste like beef, but it definitely tastes different than the regular Whopper to me.
Yeah, the consistency is noticeably different. Now, Novak, this was your idea, and we do a snacking podcast. So what is the rationale for me considering 2 giant burgers and a small fry to be a snack? Other than the fact that I'm a fat sack of shit.
Hungry. I was hungry. I didn't have dinner.
Okay. First of all, the fries were never part of it. Second of all, you talk so much about how terrible they are. I'm watching you stuff your face with fries repeatedly during this podcast.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Because we've hopefully muted out all those chewing sounds.
I pulled a small piece of meat from each, just a little sliver, and then I'm going to take a bite from each. I will say the consistency is pretty close to the beef consistency, so we'll give it credit for that. And there's nothing visibly that makes it look any different. If you gave me like a cross section of the 2 ripped parts, it'd be hard to tell which was which.
That was my whole point. Like with the when I had the Impossible Burger at the zoo and I got it as just a plain cheeseburger, like I could tell it wasn't a regular burger. It wasn't necessarily like any better or worse. Like I said, it was about the same as I would have expected from that burger, but I could tell the difference. But when I got it with all the toppings at the counter, then like you could have told me that was a beef burger and I absolutely would have believed you. Especially because there it's like a thicker patty, right? It was pink on the inside.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And it, because it was like coated in all those toppings, like I was like, I said at the time, I was like, okay, well, if like, the government got our shit together and was kind of like, all right, we need to stop eating cows because like it's global warming the planet, then so no more cows, you know, you have to switch to this, then I'd probably be okay with that based on the one that I had from the counter.
Excuse me. I didn't pay attention, but is the Impossible Whopper like noticeably more expensive or the same price?
It's $1 more.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know why that is, because theoretically plants should be cheaper than the beef, but
the process
more
to make
expensive.
them probably is more. It's easy to mass produce a bunch of cows, shoot them in the head, and smash their bones up. Other than to cultivate these plants carefully and form them into a circle. Like they have to take the corn and make a circle into it and make it flat, right? Is that how they do it?
Delilah, my cow was shot in the head and turned into a burger. Can you have a song? Run, run, Rudolph.
Run. What is your guys' favorite Christmas song?
I actually really do like Run, Run,
You have
Rudolph.
I kind of like that one, Sleigh Ride. That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you like?
I don't know if I have one. I guess I don't know why I brought that up if I didn't have one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Backed
Reindeer is
myself
like
into a corner.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a good one as a kid. I do like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I think it's a nice classic one. It's all.
It's a good song for when someone impregnates your wife.
There's probably some good Ariana Grande Christmas songs I could get into.
Are there
We
some?
Three Kings isn't a bad song either.
I love We Three Kings.
Yeah.
The problem with the Christmas songs is it's the same 15 songs
Right.
remade by a whole bunch of people. Like there's 14 versions of Frosty the Snowman. They'll just play a different one each hour.
Yeah, I like Last Christmas. You know that song Last Christmas? They just made
It's a good one.
made a movie about it
George
starring
Michael?
Daenerys.
Yep.
That the movie is about that George Michael song.
It actually is like it actually is like very heavily inspired by it. I'm not going to spoil it on this podcast, but go read the Wikipedia plot summary. It's kind of ridiculous.
Is it about a lady whose husband gets murdered and she calls into a radio show?
That it's like you just read me the Wikipedia plot summary, word for word.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Then your heart gave out when a bullet hit it. This year. That's called your heart giving out when it gets splattered by a bullet. That heart just gave up.
Sorry, your heart gave out.
Your heart is essentially just like those fall foliage trees, just not strong enough.
Not strong enough to withstand a bullet. You know? You need a better heart. Should have got that metal heart.
These Christmas days are making me long for the Christmas lights of fall.
Yeah, this is coming out just before Christmas. You guys gonna go do the famous fall activity of go look at some Christmas lights? The perfect time of year for it.
You know what? Every summer I look forward to shoveling my driveway.
I'm dreaming of the fall foliage.
Where the
those trees
weak
are
treetops
super
glisten. Those
Where the
pussy
trees
leaves drop to
are
the floor.
pussies.
Just berating these poor trees for doing what they're
Well, they
supposed to be
shouldn't-
doing.
They should have been better trees. What can I say?
All right, let's rate some burgers. Geiger, tell us what you think of these burgers and rate them on a scale of McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King.
All right.
But do you guys agree with me that Wendy's is better than both McDonald's and Burger King? That McDonald's is better than Burger
Yes.
King?
If I had to choose to be between going to one of those three, I would prefer Wendy's.
Yeah, to be clear, they're all bad.
Correct. It's negligible. Like we have the closest fast food to our house is actually Culver's, which is maybe slightly better than those.
I like that Wendy's gives you like other side options. Like I'll get a little chili or I'll get like the little potato instead of just always fries. And I like their chicken sandwich. A lot of these, I'm not a huge burger nut. Burgers are fine. But to me, like Chad was kind of referencing before, burgers are just kind of vessels to put a bunch of other stuff on. Like when I get excited about a burger, I like the bacon and the fried egg and the fried onions and the mushrooms and you taste all that, and the burger just kind of is
Hmm.
buried under there. To me, it's just kind of eh. So I don't eat a ton of fast food burgers. Even if I go to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, I usually get like a chicken sandwich or something. But which is no better for the environment or healthier or anything. It's just I prefer them. Anyway,
Well, chickens don't fart as much, so it is a little bit
they
better.
fart out those eggs every day.
I will say that I agree with you in general, but the right burger can be like outstanding even just on its own. But
Yeah,
you're not going to get that kind of burger at any fast food restaurant. That is for sure.
I'd say the only burger I look forward to, and Novak, you can back me up on this, is there's a frozen custard place in Milwaukee called Cops, and they have not only do they have fantastic custard, but their burgers are really good. They're like really flat and crispy and sloppy, and I like them a lot.
To me, the best burgers come from the middle ground places. Like the fast food place burgers are bad, and then often like restaurants that you go to that aren't specifically burger restaurants also make underwhelming burgers. Like
Yeah.
they're like way too much
Mhm.
bun to them. So the places, those middle ground places that specialize in burgers, I think that's like the sweet spot for a hamburger.
Che, when I went out to LA for work, we stopped at In and Out, and I had never had it, and I've heard so much about it. It's just another fast food burger. I didn't think it was all that. I mean, it was fine. It was decent, but it wasn't
Yeah,
like.
people from California love In and Out, including my wife. Um, I think it is very very overrated. To me, the burger it doesn't taste that much better than a BK burger. And their fries I think are atrocious. Um, but and then I have a this is a rant for another time, but I have a whole philosophical problem with In and Out because of their whole secret menu. I find the entire concept of that
Yeah.
like very 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 annoying to me.
Put what you have on the menu on the menu. I agree. I don't like that either. I
Yeah.
shouldn't need to like know somebody to know how to order my meal. Um, okay, but we're not talking about In and Out. We're not talking about Burger King. Oh wait, we are. We're just giving the McDonald's reference. We're not talking about McDonald's unless I feel this burger is mediocre. Um, I will say, okay, so comparing the two, they taste.
McDonald's is a oh yeah, Wendy's is a top.
Wendy's is the top, right? So they taste pretty similar. I will say the Impossible Burger doesn't have the problems of. I mean, it is definitely a different consistency and a slightly different taste, but not like that crumbly, mealy, or like chunky, seedy kind of things that I always presumed a vegetable burgers tasted like. It tastes like meat. It tastes the consistency's fine. I think it's kind of impressive that they're as close as they are. I have no like deep seated love for the original Whopper. In fact, I actually feel like the Impossible Burger, and maybe because they're trying to overcompensate a little bit, has a little more flavor to it than the original Whopper. Like I can definitely tell them apart. The original Whopper is just again the meat is just there. It's just kind of this gray meat. It doesn't have that much flavor on its own. It's not crispy or salty or anything. It's just kind of a gray chewy thing in the middle. Whereas the Impossible Whopper, while not like gourmet fantastic, at least has a little bit of flavor. I don't know if it's a little saltiness or a little like something to it. So I actually I'm surprised, but I think I prefer the Impossible Whopper a little bit more than the regular burger. That said, neither one is
Wow.
fantastic. Like I would not go out of my way to eat these again to get another one. I will eat probably both of them tonight, but I would say I'd give them both. And it's hard for me because I'm trying to compare them now in Wendy's, McDonald's in my head, but I don't eat the burgers there either, really. So I would probably give.
You're not giving it a Wendy's if it's like a Wendy's.
I know.
burger.
Yes. No, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Although one might argue we could have simplified things by just not assigning Wendy's and McDonald's as the rating scale, but that's fine.
The best scales require lots of explanation.
Yeah. How dare you?
I will give the original Whopper a Burger King. So stupid.
And how about the Impossible Whopper?
The Impossible Whopper, I would give it a Snoopy. No, I would say I almost wish there was like there isn't. I know before you yell at me, I wish there was like a Bermuda Triangle in the between there, a little bit of a like a Burger King Plus. Because I don't think it's quite a McDonald's because they're both pretty just there. But
a Bergdonald's rating.
Bergdonald's, yeah. Okay, I'll give them both Burger Kings. If I had to choose, I would choose the Impossible Whopper as the one I prefer, though. That was a very long way to get there. Sorry about that.
So equal ratings, but that slight advantage to the Impossible Whopper may come into play in the event of a tie. So, Chad, what do you think?
The regular Whopper is horrible. Like the consistency is almost rubbery when you eat it. And then Burger King is sort of like their famous thing was that like their burgers are flame grilled or whatever, but that actually makes it taste bad. Like maybe it's just this one that I got, but like it has burnt aftertaste to it, and that is a huge turnoff. So that is an easy slam dunk Burger King. The thing is horrible. I'm still gonna eat the rest of it because I'm hungry.
That is an easy slam dunk Burger King.
And I'm easily gonna slam dunk it down my throat. The Impossible Whopper is also not great, but it is noticeably better. It doesn't have that burnt aftertaste. The texture is improved because it's not rubbery. It still isn't quite right, you know. The flavor is not really amazing. It could definitely use some more seasoning or something like that. But as far as like a fast food burger, like I think you could do a lot worse. And if I was gonna go to Burger King again, I would definitely order the Impossible over any of their other burgers, over any of them, probably over anything else that they have on their menu. So I'm just gonna bump it slightly up and give it a McDonald's.
Ooh, all right. Here's the thing. You guys are both wrong. You're both very wrong in your assessment.
Really?
Okay, the Whopper is not great. I'm not going to pretend it's a great burger. And if you gave me both of these burgers with a ton of toppings, if I had the cheese and I got to put a lot, like they were a little skimpy on the condiments for me, if you piled those up a bit more, then I'd be fine eating either one. But the Impossible Whopper, I will never eat again. The smell, just the smell alone, is off-putting.
I don't think it smells that bad.
There's something about the smell that's very, very off-putting to me. And the taste is...
Is it because you hate the planet?
Correct. That's what I'm getting there. If it came down to saving the planet, if I didn't eat either one, then I'm in, because I'm probably never going to get either one of these burgers again. But if I had to, I would eat the regular Whopper on taste. The taste is similar. I give them a lot of credit for making a viable option, and if they just said, look, beef is no longer allowed, like fast food places can't make beef anymore, only these, I'd say fine, sounds good to me. But in this case, I'm just rating on taste. I'm going to give the Impossible Whopper a Burger King. I think it's bad. I would not recommend it. I do not like the taste. I think maybe 3 bites and I was done. And I'm going back to finish the irregular Whopper, which, like I said, not great, but to me, much, much better. So I'm going to give that. I'm going to slide it up to McDonald's just for comparison's sake. However, it's a tie technically in the ratings, but because Geiger did give the advantage to the Impossible Whopper has pulled off the upset and dethroned the champion. So, Impossible Whopper.
I will say, Novak, don't write off the Impossible stuff completely. I would say the smell and that sort of thing is less the fault of Impossible and more the fault of Burger King being a dumpster fire of a restaurant. So if you can try the Impossible at like a nicer place, like maybe one of those mid-scale burger places, then give it another shot.
Right. That's totally fair, because it's like saying if I had never eaten a French fry and then I ate these, I would say I don't like French fries, when in fact I do actually love French fries.
Right.
Well, I also think in their effort to be authentic, they just spray the Impossible Whopper with cow farts. so that that might be why it smells bad, so that you don't notice it's totally different.
That's like the opposite of carbon offsets. Like when people buy carbon offsets, instead they
Right.
just buy cow farts and just spray them out of a can onto Impossible Burgers.
So which one of these would actually make your own farts worse?
I guarantee
It's got to be the
comp-
actual meat, right?
Maybe. Because there's actually some certain vegetables make you fart quite a bit too. So
If this thing is all Brussels sprouts, I'm fucked.
all right, Geiger, where should people who want to chime in contact We Three Kings?
If you would like to request a Christmas song in honor of your dead grandparent or recently divorced husband, or I don't know, your dog died or something, call Delilah. We're not going to do that for you. If you want,
Delilah, a cow just farted in my face. Feliz Navidad.
I think if a cow farts in your face, that's more your fault unless you're milking it. That's the only thing I could see why that'd be acceptable.
The screener at it again. He's letting these calls
The
go.
screener is just that Tommy Tippy bird from The Simpsons, just hitting yes and passing it through. If you would like to share your thoughts on the Burger King Whopper, the Impossible Whopper or Impossible Burger, your thoughts on Wendy's, your thoughts on McDonald's, your thoughts on the environment.
Everybody send us your thoughts on Wendy's. Just send us your thoughts about
Send
Wendy's.
us all your thoughts on Wendy's. Remember that song? Send me all your thoughts on Wendy's. Because I'd really like to meet
Send us
her.
your thoughts on any friends named Wendy who you might have.
People named Wendy, the burger chain Wendy's. Give us your thoughts on any other kings. King Henry VIII, for example. That fucking dick. Just send us your thoughts. We don't get enough thoughts in our mailbox. And that mailbox is youtrydat@gmail.com. We are on hashtag we are on hashtag. That's how fucking hip I am. We are on hashtag and picture thing. Now we are on Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter, and we are on Facebook as well with a You Tried Dat group. As always, thanks for listening. And we here at You Tried Dat wish all of you a wonderful holiday. This has been a lot of fun for us to do, and we really thank those of you that are listening for doing so. It means a lot.
If we were the Three Kings, bringing the three of us will not show up with gold, frankincense, and myrrh. What will we be showing up with? What are you bringing,
I
Jay?
got to return all this myrrh I bought.
Gold teeth, frankincense teeth, and myrrh teeth.
What?
Myrrh
We're from the
teeth? What the
streets.
fuck is that?
I don't know.
Reese's cup?
No, I'm not giving anybody a Reese's cup. That's for me. I'm gonna give him like fucking Paul Newman's PB cups or something. Be like, here, you get these rejects.
Delilah, someone just brought baby Jesus Paul Newman's PB cups. Walking
You're
in
told
a
the Savior
fall
is born,
wonderland.
the person who will save the entire world, and you're going to present him with secondhand cups. That's what you're telling me. These cups is what
right.
you're giving this guy.
Geiger, what are you bringing? So Chad's bringing Paul Newman PB cups. What are you bringing?
To baby Jesus?
Yes.
I got a Packer hat and a high life. I don't know. What else I got? This guy- Wait, who gave the baby Jesus fetal alcohol syndrome? Oh shit! I'm like looking around, like sneaking out of the bar.
And somehow that wasn't the worst gift that he gave him. This fucking Packers hat.
Okay, which would you have, a Packer fan, or a Packer hat, or a bunch of frankincense? Is that a book of
Frankincense.
Al Franken's wisdom? Is that what that is?
Oh boy.
Cue half our listenership going, "Who's Al Franken?" Probably, but
Geiger, it's actually frankincense's monster.
that's right. Thank you. Novak, how about you? What are you giving that the baby G's?
Well,
Young Jeezy.
I could give him the rest of my Impossible Whopper because I'm probably not going to finish it. So,
Okay.
left it.
Okay.
So,
I give him a tangible gift. You guys give him
I'll bring in soft
secondhand
pretzels.
cups and
We were recently
soft pretzel.
at a basketball game, and you guys all talked about how our friend Chemnitz especially about how he didn't associate anybody with any food more than he associated the soft pretzel with me for some reason because I apparently ordered a lot of soft pretzels.
You love them. Every single time we're at a sporting event, that's what you want. In fact, on the way there, you're always saying like, "Oh God, I can't wait till I have a soft pretzel." Until we have to tell you to shut the fuck up about it already.
Well, then I'm going to bring Jesus a salted pretzeled bread.
I used to also associate you with just plain pasta because in college, it's I think between chicken tenders and pasta, that's all I saw you eat.
Both of us, Chad and I both, were well known for that.
Yeah, love that pasta. Now, was it true that the 10-year-old that called into Delilah was baby Jesus, and those were God's floppy ball sacks that he saw?
Ball sacks?
Ball sack? God contains
God
multitudes.
has as many ball sacks as he wants. God. He's like, on the 8th day, he gave himself 30 ball sacks.
He started with one fish and one loaf of bread and one ball sack. And then he multiplied them to share them with the... So, you see where there's one set of footprints and some ball sack? That's where I carried you and my ball sack dragged on the ground.
We just ruined Christmas. So.
We ruined our own afterlife. We're going to hell.
We'll go. We're gonna go. All right. So that's gonna do it. But we'll be back after Christmas. We're gonna be back with our New Year's episode next time.
Yeah.
Where we'll be bringing in the year 2020. But we'll see you then when we'll be trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.